Welcome to the Home Downsizing Show. My name is Ben Souchek, your host and the owner and founder of Home Downsizing Solutions. With the Home Downsizing Show, I want to provide you the information and resources to make the downsizing of your house stress and hassle-free. So sit back and enjoy the show. Thank you for joining us. Hello, this is Ben Souchek, and welcome to this week's edition of the Home Downsizing Show. On this week's podcast, I'd like to continue with another chapter of the Home Downsizing Secrets book, which is in regards to working with potential buyers. We've already discussed some issues when selling a house and working with buyers, but in this week's podcast, we'll review some of those issues as well as discussing a few different issues. First, you obviously need to attract the buyer that wants to buy your house. Items that will affect how easy it is to accomplish this are the condition of your house, the functionality, or if it's functionally obsolete, the desirability of the neighborhood, pricing of your house, the market conditions of your local real estate market, and how easy it is for buyers to get financing. When you find a buyer that is interested enough in your house to make an offer, how serious are they though? Although you'd think that buyers that take the time and effort to look at your house, write up and sign an agreement would be a serious buyer, it sometimes seems like they are anything but. Let's discuss whole house inspections. As discussed in a previous chapter, whole house inspections are almost always ordered by buyers. It amazes me the number of times I have had real estate agents say that their buyer wants an inspection just for quote-unquote major problems, or only for their own information, only to later try and nickel and dime a seller on every little item that the inspector identifies. Again, a seller doesn't have to accept their demands from these findings, but the buyer might choose to not go forward with the purchase. It comes down to how much you want to sell your house and how much the buyer wants to buy. Also, chances are good that you will have the same issues if and when you find a different buyer. When buyers can close is dictated by the lending institution providing the loan or financing. For various reasons, buyers usually ask for what I consider too much time to close, and usually on the last day of the month, which can make a transaction very hectic. It seems like everyone waits till the last day of the month to want to close on a purchase or sale. Depending on the lender, you or the buyer do not have much, if any, control on when the lender funds or closes a loan. It seems that they operate according to their own unknown schedule. It tends to be in underwriting for what can seem like way too long. Underwriting is also where some lenders seem to come up with various reasons why they can't close that weren't discovered or disclosed until the day before you were supposed to close. I typically ask that a buyer close on a day that is not a Friday and not the last day of the month. There may be reasons they want to close on these days, but typically these are the busiest days of the month for title and closing companies, and I would prefer my closings avoid these days. It may be worth giving a buyer an incentive to close earlier than these days. Deposits. Most buyers would typically put a very small deposit with their offer. I would always ask if they can put a bigger deposit down. They may say no, but this way you know, potentially, how serious they are. I also sometimes ask that the deposit be non-refundable, so that I receive a deposit if the buyer can't close for any reason. Again, this is usually a no response from the buyer, but it shows you how motivated they may be to buy your house. Inspections. Buyers tend to ask for 7 to 10 days or more for inspections to be done. To me, this is much too long. If they are serious, they should be able to get inspections done in no more than 3 to 5 days, depending on the market conditions. The longer you give buyers to do inspections, the more time your house is off the market, and other potential buyers will not waste their time to even look at your house for backup offers. Some of these issues are not just because of the buyer. If this is a buyer's first home, they are depending on their real estate agent to make this process go as smooth as possible. If they do not have a good agent, however, this process may be as frustrating for them as it is for you. Knowing what can happen when working with buyers can save you a lot of time, energy, aggravation, and money. If you have a good agent working for you, they should be able to guide you through this with minimal headaches. With this information, you will hopefully be better prepared for what you may encounter if you decide to list your house and put it on the market. So I hope that some of this information about working with buyers has or could be beneficial to you in the future. Again, a lot of this depends on the market conditions that you are currently in. If you are in a market like the last few years, or couple of years especially, where there is much more demand from buyers for houses and a lot of competition among buyers, buyers may not even require an inspection at all because they want a house so badly. But if you're in a market where the buyers or the sellers have more control, then you certainly, or the buyers, I should say, have more control, then they can certainly drag things out. They can usually kind of call their shots for wanting the inspections and negotiating those deficiencies that show up on the inspections. So just be prepared and be knowledgeable about market conditions and what can happen in dealing with potential buyers. And of course, if you'd rather skip all the potential challenges and hassles with a traditional buyer, just contact us, and Home Downsizing Solutions can, of course, buy your house directly, which is what we specialize in, to not have to worry about any of those issues. If you'd like a free copy of Home Downsizing Secrets, just go to homedownsizing-secrets.com or call us toll-free 855-291-5005. Again, that number is 855-291-5005. And if we can be of any assistance with the sale of your house and moving to senior living or just a smaller home, please contact us. Thank you and have a great day. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Home Downsizing Show. For additional information and resources on home downsizing, just go to homedownsizing-blueprint.com. That's homedownsizing-blueprint.com. Or if you're ready to sell your house and downsize, just go to homedownsizing-solutions.com. That's homedownsizing-solutions.com. And if you have ideas to improve our show or topics that you'd like us to cover, or have any questions that we can answer, just call our office toll-free 855-291-5005. That's 855-291-5005. Thank you.